All right, everyone, before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe and comment and share. Tell everyone about this amazing channel. I am trying to reach 5,000 subscribers, and your support, as always, is greatly appreciated. Now, let's get back to our regular scheduled program. If you are a brand new manager leading engineers in the aerospace and defense sector, let me say this. You could be a new leader in anywhere, okay? There are 3 mistakes that almost everyone makes in the first 90 days. And guess what? It does slow down your team. This is one episode that you don't want to miss. Hi, everyone. My name is Uche Maple, and welcome to the Women Who Leap Network, where we talk about everything leadership, entrepreneurship, and living a purpose-driven life. So today, what we're going to be talking about is the first 90 days. What new engineer managers get wrong, and I'm going to give you some solutions on how to fix it fast. All right, so here's the thing. In DoD contractor world, the companies, the organizations, the reality is your first 90 days are not orientation. They are performance critical. You are onboarding into a culture, a process, acronyms, compliance, everything. And guess what? Your team is watching your every move. Here's what new leaders get wrong, and here's how to correct it immediately. So what I want you to do, if you know, you know. If you know, you know what this is. So get your notebook and get your pen. And I'm going to give you some quick tips that you can take away immediately that's going to help improve how you show up at work, how you show up to your team, and how you are becoming a solutions person versus a person who is just creating problems. Okay, makes sense? All right. So mistake number 1, trying to prove yourself by being the smartest person in the room. Listen, engineers don't need a hero. They need clarity, direction, and a manager who removes the obstacles for them, which impacts them doing their work. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to be the most curious person in the room, not the smartest. And the most curious person in the room is listening and asking questions that no one else is asking. Got it? Okay. The second mistake, or mistake number 2, how about we say that? It's not establishing operating norms early. So what does that mean? What is going to be your leadership style? How are you showing up when the people that you're leading? So we definitely know that in the aerospace and defense sector, unclear expectations lead to what? Rework, money, risk, money, schedule slip, money, and credibility, right? So make sure you establish what are not normal operating. So what does that look like? What time you want your team to be at work? Okay. What are the normal operating hours? Are there times where they're going to have to come in on the weekends, especially if you're in a manufacturing environment? Those are some of the examples. How do you want them to send you a weekly status report? Again, those are some examples, right? How often are you meeting as a team to discuss what's happening, on projects that they're working on? Those are some examples. So this is how, a way that you can fix that is, 1, you need to decide and determine how you want your team to communicate with you, how they can escalate issues, and, what are some of the things that need to hand off. Because when you come into a new environment as a leader, there may be assignments that your team has taken on that is probably not even in you guys' domain expertise, and you probably want to just remove some of that work. Also, what type of documentation and decisions, and make sure you learn, how they can collaborate across functions, especially if you're in a metrics organization, and that's how your team is set up. So those are some of the ways on how to establish normal operating hours. Okay. Well, not hours, but normal operations early. The third mistake, which is what we all do, especially when we get into our first leadership role, we act like a senior engineer instead of a leader because we're still trying to do things. And it's very understandable. However, this is a big one. You're no longer measured by the code that you write, the design that you deliver, or the problem that you are analytically solving. You are measured by your team's performance and their ability to deliver, predictability, to deliver on time, to deliver what the customer is requesting. So this is the issue, right? There is a transitioning that is happening from individual contributor to now a leader of people. But don't fret. Here's what you can do. The first thing is that you need to shift from doing work to creating conditions for high quality work. What are you creating for your team to excel so that they can their performance increases? It is a performance of excellence when people hear your team is on board. The second thing is that you can do is once you can gain mastery of these shifts, your team becomes faster, quicker, and more innovative and more creative. And you become the kind of leader that engineers are going to do what? Trust, follow, and stay for. Those are rare skills. I can count on one hand how many leaders that have checked that box that I have worked for. Okay. So I'm going to repeat the 3 mistakes that most new leaders make coming from engineering. The first one is trying to prove yourself by being the smartest person in the room. That's the first mistake. Mistake number 2 is not establishing operating norms early as soon as you get in. And then mistake number 3 is acting like an engineer instead of a leader. And go back and take notes on how you can shift from that, okay, to being the leader that you want to be, the leader that you said that the reason why you got into this role is to be the leader that you want to be, that you have seen or have not seen, okay? And let me just say this, every new engineering leader struggles with these type of challenges at first. I struggled with those type of challenges. I mean, that's just a norm. But what matters is how quickly you are able to recognize them and shift. The faster you learn, the faster your team can trust you. That makes sense? The faster you learn, the faster your team can trust you. So here's my advice to you. Keep going, keep building, keep moving forward. You are building your leadership capability one day at a time, and trust in that process.